Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hump day. Made it halfway through the week. Woohoo! My kids are at, where did I leave them? Art. I took them to art a little while ago. And I'm getting ready to have a little breakfast thingy. It's got like eggs and potato and sausage and a little bit of gravy, so that should be good. And that'll tide me over till lunch. Probably just have my banana at lunch and then eat something a little more substantial later than that. Thought I'd show you my outfit. And also, sorry, I'm noticing that my file cabinet has gone askew. Weird. Something had to have bumped it very hard to make it move because it's pretty heavy. Weird. Anyway, sorry. Squirrel. We did our little skip counting spin game today and did that dance thing. I had another group come in with me. So we had 2 power hour groups for math interventions just to start off the day so we could get our brains in a skip counting mood. And so they counted by 10s, and then on the 5s, I said, let's add 200 in front of that. So 205, 210, 215. So we did that because I wanted them to know that the hundreds won't change until you get up to the next 100. So you can just count by 5s or 10s until you need to switch over. So some of them were like, huh? And then when they saw it, they're like, oh, okay. And then we split off, and they did their activity, and we did our spin game. And the kids were doing pretty good. One girl was just a little confused because she was forgetting what to do with the hundreds. And I mean, it's a little tricky. They're not used to adding hundreds onto things. That's a new thing in 2nd grade. We didn't go past 120 in 1st grade unless they were in an advanced group. So I have the on-level group. So it's understandable that they're just a little confused. We haven't gotten to that lesson in Go Math yet. That's coming soon, like next week. But we haven't gotten there yet. So this is kind of new for them. But I was trying to show them that you just need to be looking at the 1s place or the 10s place when you're skip counting, because it's just like we've been doing all along since kindergarten. And you just need to make sure that when it goes to 100 that you switch over that 100 to the next higher 100 too. And so I kind of hung around the kids that were struggling just a little just to make sure they were doing okay. I also circulated around and kind of checked on everybody else because they were doing pretty good. Every once in a while they'd get a little stuck and be like, I'm not sure what to do here. I'm like, oh, well, what are you counting by? Okay, so what place are we going to look at to start counting? And they really got that. It just got a little tricky when they weren't sure what to do with the hundreds. And one of them forgot to add the hundreds in. Like she just wrote, if it was 250, she just wrote like 55, 60, 65, 70. I said, oh, make sure you bring your hundreds along for the ride. They're still in the car. They're just not changing anything. They're not changing seats around. And they're like, oh, okay. So I fixed some little boo-boos that were here and there. And then time was up. I mean, we had just enough time to finish. Just enough. Power hour just goes by, whoop, and it's just over. So it's good, but it's also super fast. So it's very concentrated. But the kids had a great time with the kids had a great time with the freeze dance, and I think they enjoyed the spinny game too. Because anytime you can play games, it's way more fun, right, than just writing stuff down. So I thought they liked that. Tomorrow we will be reviewing all of the ways to show a number. So what's it called? Standard form, like 167. And then expanded form, 100 plus 60 plus 7. And then in blocks, so, a flat, and then 6 10s, and then 7 1s. And then also in words. But on their test, they don't have to write it in words. We just did that lesson in Go Math yesterday where they wrote it in words. And thankfully, they only had to do 2. Because my kids were like, oh my gosh, these are long. I said, yeah, isn't it good that there are only 2? And I put a little thing up on the board that had the words for the numbers so they could tell. And it was really cool. It had like the blocks, like they had a 100 block. And it would say, here are the hundreds words. And then it had like a 10 block and had all the 10s and the teen numbers. And then it had the 1s. And then it had all the 1s numbers. So it was nice because they could see it. And they could, like they had a visual of the blocks, the place value blocks, base 10 blocks. And then they had the words. Plus the numbers were next to the words so they could pick it out. So I think they did pretty well. It's hard to write all that. I mean, I think they understand that 167 is 167 in words, but it's just physically writing the words that takes a little time for their little hands. So that takes a little bit. They don't actually have to do that on our test, though, so that's good. But they should know how to read them and write them, right? Oh my gosh. The iPad situation has been a little bit of a nightmare the last couple days. I borrow a class set of iPads from one of my friend teachers down the hallway. Well, I think I said yesterday, her charger got flipped off accidentally when she put them under her cabinet, and so they didn't charge. So they were all dead. So they were barely charged by the time we borrowed them. And so they were dying as we were trying to do iReady. And my kids were like, mine died, mine died, mine died. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I had to go get MacBooks, and then I had to get them all logged in on MacBooks. And then I didn't realize, because I didn't see the schedule. I wasn't thinking. And my buddy teacher next door here actually had the MacBooks reserved for keyboarding, and so I kind of messed her up, and I apologized profusely. When I went to take the MacBooks back to the cart wasn't in the room where it's stored, and I went, uh-oh, somebody has them, crap. Oh no, I hope I didn't mess them up. So I found them in her room, and I went, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, we made it work, it's fine. So I'm like, I am so sorry. So I will know that I can't take the MacBooks during that time because somebody has it reserved. It's hard to get to the reservation page, which is why I didn't see it. I mean, it's kind of a rigmarole to get there. Like, I don't even know what the link is. I have to keep looking through emails to find the link for it. I think I might be able to drag the link onto my desktop. I'll probably do that so I can see the schedule. But I just need to write myself a note, MacBooks scheduled this time. So, because we schedule it at the same time every week, all year. So if I just write it down, I'll remember. So she wasn't upset or anything. She goes, I just figured central office took them again. I said, I'm sorry, it was me. Our iPads died that we were borrowing, and then we were right in the middle of iReady. I just wanted to finish iReady. I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We got it to work. So the keyboarding thing has kind of been a deal as far as getting the kids logged in and getting it to work right anyway. And then, you know, I stole some of the MacBooks, so she didn't have enough for her class. I felt terrible. I said, I will not do that again. I'm so sorry. I know that you have them now. I will not take them when you're supposed to have them. So sorry. Yeah, that was my bad. Okay, today I think we're just writing our numbers for 3-digit numbers. It's really not hard at all. I looked at the lesson last night. I'm like, that's going to be really fast. I did tell the kids when most of them are all, well, I think they're pretty much all here. Yeah, this morning before we left for Power Hour. I'm just letting you know now that when we have lessons, if you are talking and interrupting our lesson, you will be asked to leave from now on. You will not be able to stay in our classroom if you're interrupting our lesson and talking. And they're like, I said, because it's not okay to interrupt the lesson and take away someone else's learning time. Because when they're talking, they're not learning anything, and the people around them aren't learning anything. Because even if it's not the person they're talking to, people around them can't concentrate. So they're taking away like 5 other kids' learning time. I'd rather have that one kid that's not listening anyway go out for a little while and compose themselves. They're going to be coming back. I'm going to ask them to come back when they can stop talking. But they need to sit out for a couple minutes. I may set a timer and say, sit out in the hallway for 1 minute and then come back when the timer beeps. But come back in quietly. Otherwise, you'll be back out there again. And I'll send them with their math books so they can still work on the math. But they won't have the benefit of the classwork with me. So hopefully that will nip that talking in the bud, because it was out of control yesterday. I went home completely exhausted yesterday because I had to keep stopping and saying, please focus. Please listen. It's level 0. You need to listen. Look at the voice chart. It's on shh. Please listen. We're never going to get through our lesson if you keep making me stop. Guys, you have to listen. It's not okay. You know, all those things that you say. And I had friends that literally was so disrespectful. I would walk up to them and say, it's level 0. And as soon as I would step away, they would turn to the person and start talking. And I'm like, well, you're not sitting by anybody next time. So first I'll move them away. And then if they're still bothering us by doing whatever, then they're going to leave. So I'll give them a chance, because I'd rather them be in the room away from the talking situation. Like if I move them far away, because during math, 11 of them sit at the desks and the other 11 sit on the sit spot. See the little green circles on the rug? Yeah. And that way they're spread apart. And I can have them all, they can all see the board from there. So I've got all of this tile space around the room here. And over here, where they could move away, still see the board and still hear the lesson, but not be by anybody. So I think I'm going to call them quiet zones or something, and I might even put numbers, like go to quiet zone number 1. Kind of like when you're in the drive-thru at McDonald's, and they go, oh, we're still working on your fries. Would you please pull over to number 1? It'll be like that. I'm going to have little waiting areas, kind of. So I think I'll have one here. in front of my file cabinets, and probably one over here in front of that little dude right there, and probably one over by the easel. That'll give me 3 places, and hopefully I don't need them. I mean, hopefully they'll, get under control. But, they might need some support as far as not talking and not giving them anybody to talk to. Sometimes if you just move them away from people, it's over. But then there are kids that just do things. They just make noises. Like, it doesn't matter who's there. They could be in a room by themselves and be making noises. So, yeah, I have a couple of noisemakers, and I don't know if they even realize they're doing it. Like, I have hummers, and you just hear this. It's like having a giant mosquito in your room, and it's just drives you bananas. It's really hard to concentrate. I can't focus on what I'm trying to say because that's always grating on my nerves. I'm like, please stop. Please stop. You're frazzling my brain. Please stop. I can't think when you do that. Please stop. So, yeah. And then we have the attempted whistlers. So we've got the buzzers, and we've got the whistlers, and we've got the hummers. You know what I'm talking about. If you've taught anybody for any length of time, you have the where they're not quite whistling, but they're trying really hard. Drives you bananas. Because it's relentless and annoying. I'm like, please stop whistling. This is a no whistle zone. Whistling is for outside. Like, I'm so tired of saying it. I feel like I need a Staples easy button that says, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I've told you 1,000 times. Please stop. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's week 6, and I've probably said the same thing 400,000 times now, and I don't want to say it 400,001 times. I'm just done. I'm done. So we're going to nip that in the bud today. I can't take it anymore. It's making me feel like I'm going crazy. I can't concentrate. I feel like I'm getting grouchy with them, and I don't want to be grouchy. Teachers shouldn't be grouchy with you all the time. I don't want to be a grouchy teacher. I've told them, I said, guys, you're turning me into a grouchy teacher, and I'm not a grouchy teacher. Like, don't make me grouchy because you're not listening. You can fix that. Yeah. But I always make sure to tell them, I love you, and I want you to learn. So you have to help me, because I can't make you be quiet. That's your body doing it. So you have to make your body be quiet. That's your job. I need to hurry up because I have 10 minutes before I have to pick up my kids again. All right, let me show you my outfit, and then I'm going to print some stuff out while I'm snarfing down my breakfast. I'm wearing a brand new outfit. Yay, because it's really cold today. Well, really cold. It's been like in the 80s. Today it's in the 60s, so it feels very cold because it rained last night. So I wore something a little warmer today. It finally feels like fall, so I wore a little fall outfit. I have this little kind of sweatery material shirt. It's just a thicker t-shirt kind of thing. It's very soft. It came from Target, I believe. I think this is from Target. My jewelry all came from Maurice's. This is a Lottie Dotties, Lottie with T's, Lottie Dotties. If you go to lottidotties.com, you can order these. They're magnetic. They have magnetic inserts that you get. You can pick the ring style that you want. They also have like earrings and bracelets, and they might have watches and necklaces, and you pick the things that you want to put inside them, so you change them out. They're like the chameleon ring that I have, but instead of snapping in, they're magnetic. So you have to be careful. Like some of my things have fallen out before because like my purse is a Michi bag, and the shells on a Michi bag are magnetic, and so if I bump it against that, it'll suck it out. So you have to watch that a little bit. So if you're around anything magnetic, it'll suck it out of there. But otherwise, I haven't had any trouble with it. And my pants are from Walmart, and there's some leggings, and they're really cute. They have flowers on them and some kind of like a plaid material going on. Not a plaid material, plaid design. I'm okay, really. And then my shoes are from Maurice's. I've had them for a while. I'll just show you. Oh, and I've got somebody at my door, so hold that thought. My visitors were a couple of nice boys from the class that I had sent my iPads to, and she sent my iPads back. So I'll just need to go get the other teacher's iPads when I come back from specials. So we've got ours back, and we're just going to get the other teachers so we can all do iReady. So yay. Okay, I was telling you about my outfit. So I told you about the shirt, the jewelry. I showed you the shoes. And now I just need to show you the whole thing, and then I can go snarf my breakfast, print some things, and zip out of here again. I thought this shirt was really cute because it has that little tie in the front. Just makes it a little different. Cute. Here are my pants. Those cute. Just leggings from Walmart. They were like $5.97. I mean, really cheap. Cheap and comfy and kind of warmish. Yep. One of my little friends brought us some snacks today because she knew we were low. Yay. This is such an easy snack to pass out too. I made popcorn yesterday and I always have to pop 4 bags. Okay, I'm going to go because I have something at the door. Good afternoon. Today went a little bit smoother than yesterday. We didn't have a full moon. That helped. And it didn't rain. So we got to go outside for recess. So that was really good too. I wanted to show you the place value party cakes that we made. So I'm going to go into the hallway and pan through that so you can see it before I leave. I'm packing up, getting ready to go now. A few of my friends had to move away from the group because they kept interrupting. And I said, you need to move over there and you need to move over there. And it helped a lot. It really did. And I just explained to them, guys, when we make so much noise and talk, we can't get anything done. It interrupts everything. And we could have a lot more fun if we listened. They really enjoyed the science spin that we did today. It was all about squirrels. And it was about the kind of how scientists test a question. They went through the method of how scientists do things. And it was really cute. Because the question was, do squirrels steal other squirrels' nuts? And so the scientist set up a little test to see. And it was really fun. The kids really enjoyed it. Also on the back of the science spin, I'll show you, there was a map, which is one of our standards for social studies, using different maps. And so they used this grid. They used the grid. My goodness. And they had to answer questions. They had to find things using the key on the grid and then mark which part of the grid it was on. They did a great job. It was amazing. They really liked it too. And then we did vocabulary, which is good because that's something that our district is really pushing is vocabulary. So there was a page I printed out that had like 3 different vocabulary words and what could they possibly mean. And then they also asked why was it important to have a science notebook. And we talked about that and wrote the answer to that. So that was really good. That's just the right amount of time for our science time right now. I do want to do, wow, my hair's sticking out. I do want to do some like experiments and things and some projects, but those will be coming up. Trying to think. I did the mid-chapter checkpoint in math today. Whoops. I need to take that home and check it because I didn't get to it today because I had a meeting with the assistant principal about a student because we're trying to get to the bottom of stuff. Uh-oh, phone's ringing. Oh, hold on, it's my daughter. Caitlin just had a quick question and then I needed to leave, so I didn't have time to get back on there. But here are the place value party cakes I told you I would show you. The kids did a really great job. We took a couple days to make the cakes and then 1 day to do the paper that had all the different forms of the numbers. Hi, sorry about that. I'm obviously home now. After my phone call, then I had a visitor to my room. And then after that, I had to get out of there because I was running late at that point. I was ahead of things before, and then I was behind things after. So yes, we're home. I've got my clothes picked. What is up with my hair? My goodness. I got my clothes picked out for tomorrow with a little help from my fashion consultant, Caitlin. Obviously, I'm ready for bed because I am really tired. But today, I've got to say, today was much, much better. Much, much better. I didn't feel quite so overrun and ragged and stressed. I feel like I made some progress today. We actually kind of got into our writing a little bit. We're starting personal narratives. So I'm not sure I even talked about this yesterday. I read Stella Tells a Story, a little bit of it. And then I showed one of the writing videos that I've used before, which I used last year, and I'll link it below so you can use it. I love it. They're like 2 or 3 minutes long, and each video is another step of that particular writing. So you can show the video, you can do a mini lesson, talk about it, and then have the kids do it because they've seen it and they've seen you do it, and then they can do it themselves. So yesterday's video was about coming up with 6 different ideas of things you could write about for a personal narrative. And it was on like a little grid, and I just made one. I just made a table in PowerPoint. It was very simple, no fancy frills, just 6 boxes for them to write some kind of information in of a story that they could create later. And so today we did that. I showed them the next step, what they're going to do with the story, so they know what's coming up tomorrow. Most of them got 6 different ideas written down. One student is completely confused as to what I was asking. Either that or he's choosing to do his own thing, which is not going to work. So I'm going to have to work with him a little bit. He can be a little headstrong. So I need to get him to come around to the right way of thinking, because there's a certain way we need to do this and he can't just do it however he wants. So that was good. I felt like I really got some writing in today. The kids were kind of disappointed that we had to stop. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, but we can always come back to it next time. That was nice. Caitlin got a phone call from Maurice's where she put in an application, so maybe she's going to get an interview soon. That's exciting. I really like that store. So, hey, if my daughter works there, she'll have a discount. Yay. So it's a win-win. I said, you'll make money and I'll lose money on this deal. We'll just have to be careful. My husband just called a little while ago to say that he's coming home, so yay. We will have supper. And then probably just watch something on Netflix. Or, yeah, you know what? I DVR'd This Is Us. So I can watch the first episode of that for the season. And I did not get to record New Amsterdam. But I should be able to watch that on demand through our cable. So I probably won't be able to watch it till tomorrow, though. They have this weird thing where they won't put it on there till 24 hours after the show aired. So, like, they won't show it till 9 o'clock tonight. Well, by 9 o'clock, I will probably be a pumpkin. We call it turning into a pumpkin when we get really tired and we can't go anymore. Like, it's just too late. That's like when the clock... It's like when the clock strikes midnight and Cinderella's... I can't even think of words now. Cinderella's carriage turns into a pumpkin. Yeah. I just can't think. Caitlin got her hair done last night. It's so pretty. See? It's all nice and look how purpley it is. So pretty. Because the water in Wichita killed her hair. Like it sucked all the pretty out. And it was making it look gray and ashy. And I said, you're starting to kind of resemble the Bride of Frankenstein a little bit. And she's like, thanks, Mom. I'm like, well, it's not your fault. We're going to get it fixed. But until then, it's not. Yeah, it's kind of sad. And she's like, I know. I hate it. And I'm like, not your fault. Anyway, that was our life today. And Caitlin brought me Starbucks, which is really sweet. And this, oh my gosh, it's like a pureed brownie in a cup. Numb. So if you love chocolate, I don't know what it's called. Do you know what it was called, Caitlin?
It was a triple mocha frappuccino.
There you go. Trippa. I'm Trippa. Triple mocha frappuccino. Because if you call it a frappe, they're like, that's not our thing. They get very upset about that. Found that out. Okay, so I'm going to go for today, and I will talk to you next time. Good morning. Happy Thursday. So it's before school. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the day, and I have a meeting during plan time today, so I have no time to do anything, basically. I'm going to eat my breakfast before the kids come this morning. I've got about 15 minutes. My scarf is just weird today. It's like staticky or something. I don't know. It's a lot cooler today. It was 45 degrees when I went outside to feed the cats. Brr. So I wore my robe, of course. They were happy to have food, and they were kind of huddled up together. Cute. Okay, I have this sweater that I got from Old Navy on my little birthday shopping trip. And I have some gray pixie pants from Old Navy that I got on my shopping trip. This came from Walmart, I think. These earrings are from Cato. This bracelet is from Maurice's. This is from Alex and Annie. And this is from Walmart, I do believe. And these shoes are from Maurice's last year, like last summer. And I'm going to back up so you can see it all. Then this morning we're testing in Power Hour to see if they got all the concepts. And then we'll probably do some fun stuff, like some dance party kind of stuff. And in math, we're doing more place value. And then I'll try to check back with you at lunchtime. Good afternoon. Ugh, I just dropped my kids off at lunch. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh dear. Here we go. And, my hot mess. It took us a little while to get out of here because they would not be quiet in line. And so we went down the hallway and they were being, and I had already spoken to them about, being quiet and all that stuff. And I went, nope. This is unacceptable. Please turn around and go back to the classroom. And they're like, I'm like, yep, go. So we turned around and went back. And they're like, do we go to the road? I said, no, just line up again. I said, That was not okay with me. We're not going to do that. You've probably lined up 3,000 times at least in your lifetime at school. I think we can do better. And so they did. They did a lot better. So I don't want to do that every day, though. Come on. Just shh. Just mute. Mute yourselves, children. We did a lesson on tattling today. And also, not just tattling, but what's the difference between reporting and tattling. I read A Bad Case of Tattletongue to them. It's a really good book. If you've never read it, you should totally either show it on YouTube or borrow it from your library or order it from Amazon because you will not regret it. It's a really good book. And after we went through the book, then I said, I'm going to give you some situations. And when you think you know whether that would be tattling or reporting, raise your hand. And so we had a couple, shouter-outers. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, raise your hand, please. And I called on specific kids. And one of them was very tricky for them. So they did really, really well. I think I erased it already. Otherwise, I would have shown you. But I said, one of them was someone's climbing the slide at recess. Well, of course, that's reporting because that could hurt someone. Another one was a student is running down the hallway and screaming. And at first they were like tattling. And then they went, wait. I said, okay, some of you think tattling, some of you think reporting. Let's think about what makes the difference between a tattle and a report. Could someone get hurt? And they went, yeah, they could run into someone. I went, so now what do you think it is? And they said, reporting. I said, yes. Plus, isn't it very, very disrespectful to be running and screaming down our hallway when people are trying to learn? And they're like, yeah. So they totally got that. Then I gave them a super tricky one. I said, are you ready for a super tricky one? They're like, yeah. I said, here's the situation. Someone is calling you names and you have asked them to stop and they won't stop. What do you do? Is it tattling or reporting? And some of them were like, that's tattling. And then I went, is it hurting someone? And they went, no. And they went, wait, it hurts your feelings. And I went, now what do you think? And they went, reporting. I said, what should you do? Like if you told, what would that be? Tattling or reporting? They said, reporting. I said, yeah, you should tell someone, shouldn't you? Because it's hurting you. It doesn't hurt your outsides, but doesn't it hurt your insides where your heart is? And they went, yeah. And I said, exactly. Because we've had some problems a little bit with people not being so kind to each other. And so rather than focusing and saying, we're having a lot of trouble with kindness in here, which isn't coming out very kind, is it? I'm not being a very good example of kindness if I approach it that way. We kind of talked it through a little bit with situations. And so I think they totally understand. Well, that's better. And hopefully that will help a little bit. I've said the rule number 2 of the tattling rules or whatever is be a problem solver. If you have tried to fix the situation already by yourself and it has not fixed it, then you need help. And they're like, oh, and I said, where could you get help? And they gave me all kinds of great ideas. They could tell their teacher, they could tell their parents, they could tell the librarian, they could tell whoever. I gave them different situations in different places of the building too, and also in different areas of our school. I said, what would you do if this happened at recess? We tell the recess teacher. What would you do if this happened in the music room? We tell the music teacher. What would you do if this happened in the hallway? And they're like, oh, tell the closest teacher. And I went, maybe. But what if they're busy and they're teaching? Tell our teacher. Yeah, that would be good. And I said, what do you do if it happens on the bus? And they're like, tell the bus driver. That's right. Very good. So I think that lesson was very well received. And I think the lesson of having to come back instead of heading on to lunch was very well received as well, because they realized, we're not going to lunch right now because we're too loud. And I just looked at them and I said, I would not want to be the one that continues making us start over, because you're not going to be very well liked today. People are going to be a little grouchy because you're not letting them go to lunch and eat. And it was birthday lunch today, which didn't affect us at all because we have no September birthdays except me. So it worked out, but it was kind of sad. I didn't want to send them back, but you can't let them just, be doing whatever they want just because they're on the way to lunch. That's not okay. So I just told them, I said, I'm sorry, this line is unacceptable and we're going to start over. I know you can do better. You have done better. Show me better. Show me what your line's going to look and sound like when we leave again. And they all were, yeah. So, yay. Okay, we're cooking along on our math. We only have 4 lessons left before the test next week. So that's good. And I've actually already given the test, the post-test, because we have done so much of it already in Power Hour. So I don't know if all of my students have been tested. I've tested all of my Power Hour kids and given their tests back. I think that all of my kids have been tested now because the majority of them go to a teacher down this way, and she asked if we were testing today, and I said yes. Sorry, that's my corn dog. Let me grab that real fast. So the kitchen had corn dogs. It's probably not warm enough. And some like apple, like, I don't know what you call them, baked apples. And I thought, hey, it's Apple Week, and I just realized I never asked for actual apples. So I will be providing the actual apples. I'll go to the store and get some apples because Caitlin needs to get her meningitis vaccine shot today. So we have a little bit of time before we have to do that. So I'm going to just really quickly put on my shopping list apples because I'll forget otherwise, because I do that. You do that, either write it down or put it in your phone, or you totally forget. I did not forget, however, to take some things to the office that need to be sent off. I finally sent a check for Caitlin's lunch. It's only the 6th week of school. I hope it covers what she's already eaten and gives her a little cushion. Slacker mom. Total slacker mom. And then we have the big rivalry game coming up with our team and the place where I live. Actually, the place where I work and the place where I live are bitter rivals. Always have been since before my husband was in school. So it's pretty weird. I live in the place that is the rival of the place I work. So we have these special shirts that we wear on that game day. And so I ordered one for myself and for Caitlin because I asked her, I said, do you want one? Because I figured you'd probably go to the game since you're a senior. She's trying to like soak in all the school things while she can. She wasn't really that interested before, but now she's kind of like, yeah, I think I kind of want to do that because it's my last year. Plus her boyfriend is a drummer in the band. Not the cool band, but you know, the marching band is cool. I mean, he's not like a rock band drummer is what I meant to say. I didn't mean it that way. Sorry about that. I was in marching band, so I think marching bands are cool. So don't take it that way. It's not what I meant. So anyway, I figured she'd probably want to go. Wow, that was the long way around to say that, wasn't it? Okay, that was my alarm to go get the kids, and I haven't even eaten yet. But my kids have recess right after this, so I can eat during recess. It's not a big deal. And I can get my mind wrapped around this afternoon, which there's not a lot going on because we have counseling this afternoon that's going to be partway through my reading block, and I've already had my students pack for the day so we can be ready to leave because she does counseling from like 2:15 to 2:45, and then we go home. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go get my kids from lunch and go to recess and come back and eat my corn dog. So I'll talk to you later. Hello, I'm home, and it is like 5:30. And my husband just went to get a pizza and breadsticks for us. My daughter is hanging out with her boyfriend tonight for a while, so it's just the two of us. I am so tired. It's only Thursday, and I'm so tired. I think I started out tired, though, on Monday, so that's just kind of the way it is right now. I got a lot of little things done today. So I got some books labeled with dots and put my classroom library sticker on them. Got them put in the dot library. I just started calling it the dot library rather than the AR library because they know what that means. And that separates those from the other books in our library, so that helps. And what else did I do? I got the book order form. No. I got the book order note printed out so I can send book order forms home tomorrow. I will need to separate out like 5 catalogs worth of order forms and make little packets for the kids. But I want them to have it over the weekend so they can look at things. And I'll have the orders due on Wednesday, which really I won't send it till Friday because that gives them a couple of days of oops time. I forgot there was an order, so they can still order. And gosh, what else did I do? I made stuff for Apple Day tomorrow. So I got some papers copied for that. We have like a taste test paper where they get to mark how they liked everything. And there's an Apple adjectives page that I thought would be good. And we had counseling today, so that was nice. I did a lot of things during counseling. I just stayed in the room and just kind of did my own thing while they did their counseling. Couldn't do a lot of printing because we didn't have any paper for the copier. And I I buzzed the office and I said, can we get some paper for the second grade copier? And one of our secretaries was gone, so someone was filling in for her, and she's like, okay. And they sent up one ream. Okay, thanks. One ream lasted about 2 seconds. Yeah, so thankfully I had just a small stack in my room from a project or something. I just put it in the copier so I could print out a class set of the Apple things. But I had more things I needed to do, like the Apple STEM activity. I'll just have to do it tomorrow. Because I went ahead and emailed the secretary and said, hey, can you have the custodians bring some boxes of paper to the second grade floor, please? So, yeah. Well, that was interesting. I had a meeting this morning that took most of my plan time. Not all of it, but most of it. Enough that I couldn't really do much of anything when I got back. We did iReady reading today. And I had to track down iPads. I don't know how that happens. Like, how is it that people are missing a few of their classroom iPads and then I go to borrow them and they don't have their whole set? Somebody isn't returning all of them for some reason. So that's really kind of annoying when you think you have enough iPads for everybody and then you're like, ugh. Because then I have to go try to hunt them down and leave my class, and it's not cool. So finally got everybody on there. But I just checked the minutes. And dang it, some of those kids don't even have 30 minutes. And I'm like, how is that possible? I put them on there 20 minutes a day this week. They should have racked up at least 30 minutes for each thing. So I'm not sure what they were doing. Then again, if they got stopped in the middle of a lesson, it doesn't track their minutes until they complete the lesson. So that's probably why. Yeah, I bet that's it. So they'll finish it next week. I hope that this 30 to 49 minutes of iReady time a week for each subject is an average because, they're not going to always get done with all the lessons in the allotted time. So I hope it's like, I don't know, averaged over a semester or a quarter or something because it's not going to be a daily thing, that's for sure, or a weekly thing. I don't know. Anyway, I did what I could do there. We didn't do any writing today, but I did do a lesson on tattling that I told you about. That was kind of important. That's kind of a deal right now, so I thought, let's just do that because it was timely. Took care of that. I'm trying to think, what else did I do? There wasn't a lot this afternoon. Since I had counseling today, that kind of, it goes toward the end of my reading block, my guided reading block. I started guided reading first, and I actually didn't even meet with any groups today. The kids were super needy for some reason during group time today, and I just was like going around helping kids finish things because we do ketchup and pickles during guided reading time. So their catch-up is they have to have taken an AR quiz, and if they're not taking a quiz, they need to be reading a book so they can take a quiz. And also, some of them needed to finish their place value cakes, which I showed before. And so everybody got finished with those, thankfully. And then the pickles, the options for that are like basically the daily 5 things. Read to self, read with a partner, writing. I don't have word work in there yet because we haven't really done a lot with that. It'll probably be a phonics thing. And I have Reagan Tunstall's big bundle of phonics things where there's a different activity every day. So that will be a catch-up thing, like you have to do it. So that'll be on their list of things to do before they can go choose something to do. Oh, also on the pickles is listen to reading, so the listening station, and Epic. And I decided to give each group their own day for Epic because the kids were basically fighting over who got to do Epic, and I'm like, that's not going to work. So each color group gets their day for Epic, just like they do for Prodigy, which is working out wonderfully. Granted, every once in a while we're not going to have a 5-day week and it's going to mess things up, but we'll make it work. Like, since we didn't have the iPads one of the days this week, like in the morning for Prodigy, I let whoever was doing Epic that day, I let them do Prodigy during Epic time, and then I let 2 groups do Epic today to make up for the fact that they didn't get to do Epic on their Epic day. It was confusing to the kids. They're like, but wait, they don't. I'm like, I know. It doesn't make sense, but it's going to make it fair. Don't worry. I figured it out in my head. And they're like, okay. I'm just like, just trust me. Sorry, that was my husband letting me know that the pizza wasn't quite ready because I guess when I sent it electronically, it doesn't go immediately. So we're just putting the pizza in the oven when he arrived to pick it up. So whatever. It won't take very long. I think it only bakes for like 10 minutes, so it won't be that long. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. So I survived the day. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, I think I was talking about having to switch around the iPad times and whatever. So yeah, today the reading group time never really happened. Like people were wanting to take quizzes and they were having trouble getting their quizzes to come up and they kept asking me questions and I just was like, you know what, forget it. This isn't working today. I can't do groups today. I just can't because it's just not working. So anyway, I ended up doing other things during guided reading time other than guided reading. Kids were reading, but not guided reading, which is kind of stinky. So next week will be better. It will be more of a routine for them. Hopefully they won't keep pestering me because I have that pineapple light that I turn on when I'm at the reading table. And I've had kids. This one kid yesterday just was relentless. He just kept coming over and talking. And I didn't even look up. I just pointed to the pineapple light. Because what I do is I meet with a group, I turn the pineapple light on. When I'm done meeting with that group, I turn the pineapple light off. And then they know they can come ask questions. And I even tell them when the light's off, which it is now, you can come talk to me and ask me a question or two. And then I'm going to call the other group. And while they're coming, you have a few minutes to ask me questions. And then when the light's back on, I'm unavailable for a little bit. And then when it's off again, I'll be available again. So really, you're only going to have to wait for a little while to get an answer from me. So try to figure it out. And then try to ask one of your partners to help you. And if you're completely stuck, then wait for me to be available because you absolutely cannot interrupt group time because we don't have much time together. So, how would you feel if that was happening to your group? You would be very frustrated. And the thing is, the resources are there for them to figure things out. Like, what can I do? It's on the board every day. Pick one of those things. You know what to do. Yeah. And where do I put something? Where do we always put something? There's only one place for it to go, right? Yeah. So most of the time, it's whenever they think they really need to ask me something super important, it's really not super important. In the grand scheme of things, for some reason they think it's super important. I'm like, was that important enough to interrupt our group for, or could that have waited? That was one of the things that we talked about in our tattling lesson today. Also, a now situation and a later situation. So, like when kids just are like, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something right now. It's really important. And they go, my shoe's untied. And you're like, why was that super important right now? You know what I mean? Was that really worthy of interrupting the entire class to say that? Yeah. So we talked about things that are like more emergent situations, like I'm going to have an accident in my pants. That would be a now thing. I'm going to throw up. That would be a now thing. I've cut myself and I'm bleeding all over the floor. That would be a now thing. Can I go to the library? Is that a now thing? That could wait. Yeah. What do I do with my paper? Is that a now thing? That could wait. So, we metered out what was super important and what could wait. It's still important, but it's not an emergency. Yeah. So they're getting it. They're getting it. And if you just take the time to explain the why behind things, it makes things a lot better. Like when I do math, I always tell them the essential question and the focus of our lesson. Today, class, we're going to learn about this. And here's our question that we want to be able to answer by the time our lesson is over. So I have just a few little things to do tomorrow. And Caitlin's going to go racing with my husband. They're going to take off right after school when I have my lovely meeting. So I didn't feel like I could really go. So they're going to head off to do some drag racing tomorrow night. So I'm going to be on my own till probably 1 o'clock in the morning. I can catch up on some shows that I haven't watched, like This Is Us. I haven't seen that. I DVR'd it. And I started watching New Amsterdam last night and I fell asleep. I will probably be watching that tomorrow night and I'll be editing a video, probably the one that went up yesterday. So that'll be my evening and then I can fall asleep and not feel guilty. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go for tonight. I'm going to get my pajamas on and get ready to have some pizza and some TV time and then just relax for a while. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Friday. Yay, it's Apple Day. Sorry, I'm trying not to run over stuff as I walk over here. The kids are at recess, so it's midway through our day, so I didn't get a chance to get on here. We had a major traffic problem this morning with the buses being stuck behind cars, and cars are blocking the buses. It was a nightmare. So I hope they fixed that. It was hard to get into work today. If you can see our room, it's kind of an apple-tastrophie, but we're having an apple-tastic good time. Kind of let you see the room in various states of snack eating. I told the kids that was snack part 1 because, first of all, their little tummies can't hold a lot, and second of all, we didn't have a lot of time. So they did applesauce and 2 apple slices with a little bit of caramel and an apple, like a biscuit thing. So I asked for apple chips, which are actually dried apples, but the mom sent in these apple cinnamon, really flat biscuity things, which are kind of like cookies but not super sweet, and they were pretty good, especially if you dip them in the caramel. So I just told them to use that for their apple chips on their little taste testing page, which I'll show you. Okay. So this is from Sarah Cooley's apple tasting party on TpT. You can see, and they just rate each apple food. So we're going to wait on the apple muffins, which are the little apple streusel cakes. I'll show you those. I'm saving these for Monday because they're going to be way too full otherwise. So when they come back, we're going to have apple butter with their apple slices because I have more sliced apples. And I'm going to save the cereal and those streusel cake things for the muffins till Monday. Because for one thing, we don't have a lot of time left. And another thing, they're going to have too much food because we do have lunch. I might just let them have some more apple slices and some of the apple butter, and they'll eat that because I want them to eat their lunch. And then I'm going to have them leave these here in the work in progress drawer over by my door so we can just finish it. That'll be our snack on Monday. That'll work out great. I'll just try to give extra time for a snack that day so we can just continue the apple-y goodness. And after school today, since I don't have to go home to anybody but the kiddies, and they won't mind because they'll be sleeping, I'm going to stay a little bit. I'm going to decorate for fall because I've got all my decorations in the closet here that I've picked up at the dollar spot, and also just some things I've collected over the years. So I've got some pumpkin-y things to put out. So I want to finish up the apple stuff on Monday so we can move into October because Monday's October 1st and do pumpkin things. And, I have been adding to my dice games bundle on Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you want some pumpkin roll and color or roll and cover games that are dice games, I'll put the link below. I have it in my whole big bundle for a discounted price, or you can get the individual game, which has got doubles, it's got bump, it has just roll and add. It also has like match the dots for like kindergarten and preschool. So it's good, and there's multiplication too. Plus, there are some editable boards where you can put in whatever numbers or words that you want. So they're pretty versatile. My kids love them. There are color versions in black and white, so it's printer ink friendly. You can put them on Astro Brights. You can print them on just white paper, whatever you want. I've tried to make it very versatile for you. So I've got the pumpkin one out, and I'm working on a bat one right now. So that'll probably be done this weekend. So if you're not following my TpT store and you're interested in these things, click on my store and click on follow me, I think it's a star. And that way you'll be notified when I upload a new product. So you can check it out if you want to. Because I try to tell you on my videos that I've uploaded something new, but I don't always remember. So I remember today because I just got the pumpkin one done over the weekend. Because I wanted to have some more Halloween-y ones ready for October. So the pumpkin one is ready now. I'm working on the bat one. And I'm planning to do spiders and probably Frankensteins because I'm trying to match those little dollar spot erasers. So, and kitty cats. I'm going to do black cats. So those will be coming. But it takes a little bit of time to make them because there's lots of game boards. And I have to make each one individually. So give me some time, but I'm working on them. I found some really super cool things looking at Instagram. Instagram should be like called Empty My Pocket because people post the coolest stuff on there, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that too. So there's some really cool things I'm planning to do in October. Some kind of classroom transformation-y things. So stay tuned I've got some big plans because I got to put the fun back in my life. And the kids are going to come along for the ride because they're going to love it. So, October is the perfect time to start that kind of stuff. Alrighty, I am going to go because it's almost time to go pick the kids up from recess. I need to shoot something to the color printer so I can snatch it up on the way to the recess playground. And then we're going to do part 2 of our apple schnacky. And we're also going to pack and do Friday Fun Club. And then it'll be time for lunch. Okay, I'm going to go and I'll try to catch back up with you later. Whew! We are apple crazy in our classroom today. So it's been a whirlwind as usual, but they're having a really good time. The kids have really enjoyed tasting their apple snacks. And I said, guys, we have so many. We're going to do some more on Monday. And they're like, yay! So we'll finish off our apple taste testing on Monday. Right now, I've got about half of the book order forms ready to go home, but there were so many. 1, 2, 3. There's 6. I'm sending all of them home because they love to look through them and circle their things that they want, which is what I always did when I was a kid. I loved Scholastic Book Order Form Day. It was so fun. I didn't usually get anything, but I loved dreaming about it. So here are the forms I'm sending home. And then I've got a note to put on the front to let the parents know how to order. And I've got our class code on there too. A couple of kids filled up their Super Improvers card, so I just got their new one ready, and they're on the table right here. You can see them on the end, ready for them to put their names on them. This year I'm letting them put their names on them because they think it's super cool, and it saves me some time too, so it's a win-win. I've got a Hot Mess Express going on my back counter, but it's an assembly line. I need to do the other half of the book orders. I need to finish my newsletter, but I've been getting things done, which is nice. Let me put you up here. I don't know why I moved this stuff out of the way because I put it back. Okay, there. So let me find my newsletter. Oh, I don't think I mentioned that I had a headache when I woke up today, and it has not left. I did eat breakfast. I thought I was out of breakfast burritos at home, but I found some. Yay me. I dug in the freezer a little bit and I found some. So that was nice. Oh, I want to show you. I think I just closed out. Okay. On my computer, I have a couple of special things. You see the apple there and the pumpkin? So you can see Apple Day and then pumpkin stuff. Okay, so obviously the apple has all the Apple Day stuff in it. So I can show you that we did a Watch, Think, Color. It's a freebie. So if you want to do it, it was actually for teacher appreciation. So it talks to the kids and says, guys, this is a surprise for your teacher. Did you know it's Teacher Appreciation Week? And I was like, it's not really. That was from another time. But anyway, it says, you know, this is a secret. You don't want your teacher to look. So, teachers, turn around. Don't look. Of course, I had to turn around and look because, you know, they weren't being quiet. But anyway, they thought it was really funny. They were pretty good for a while. But then, you know, one starts talking, another one starts talking pretty soon. And I was like, oh, remember, this is quiet time. Secret, secret. Wow. Oh, my gosh. I look so tired today. Yep, I am tired. But who isn't? I mean, aren't we all in the same boat? Pretty much. Tired is just a state of being as a teacher. Where is it? Oh, it's a Watch, Think, Color Counting On, which we're going to be going to addition in our next chapters. We have one more week of place value, and then we go to addition. So here is what it looks like. I'll just show you the side screen here. See on the side there. So your slides look like these. It's a number plus 2 or 3 or minus 2 or 3. Just gives them practice counting on and counting back. Should be a review from first grade. And would be a new strategy probably for first grade. So it's good for either grade level or for some high kinders probably. But I will try to remember to link that for you since it is a freebie. I especially like to share freebies with you. But if I don't, let me know and I will go back and find it because it's in my downloads. So it wouldn't be too hard to find. I feel like I've just been all day long. But, you know, it's worth it. I mean, the kids are having a great time. My head is killing me, but that's just the kind of the nature of the beast today. Kind of expected to have a headache after all the festivities anyway. I just started out with one. I think it's all the weather changes and not sleeping very well and just, you know, stress of the teaching year. Just normal stuff. I'm feeling better about things this week. I think I was pretty depressing last week. Sorry about that. I try not to be super down about stuff because everybody has struggles. But I was just feeling really, really overwhelmed. And I'm feeling a little less overwhelmed, probably because today, when I was thinking about today, I went, you know what? No, we're going to do something fun too. So we did do the keyboarding, which there's like 5 kids I could never get logged into the Type to Learn program. So I shot an email off to the tech guy and I said, these kids are not able to log in no matter what I do. I went through all the steps that we were supposed to do. I even closed out and went back in, all that stuff, and nope, didn't work. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but I thought it might be good to let him know because maybe their logins aren't working. My login didn't work the first time and I had to have it reset by him. So maybe that's what's going on with theirs too. Who knows? The kids after recess did some more taste testing. So they tried apple butter. Some of them liked it. Some of them didn't, as expected. And what else do we have? Oh, we had apple juice. And then I just went, that's enough for the snacks because we have lunch and I want you to eat some actual food, food. So Monday we'll have apple cereal, which is like apple, I want to say they're like Apple Jacks. And we've got those little apple turnover things and little apple pies. And what was the other thing? The like this apple fritter things that you can get, like donut things. And then we have the apple streusel cakes that I showed you. So lots of stuff. But they're just going to get little tastes. Little tastes of it. That's all they need. Little tastes. So I told them we'd have part 3 on Monday. So I told them to put their papers in the drawer. I hope they listened. Most of them I saw did. And if they had apple juice left, I told them to close the lid and put it in front of their cubby. This side of the cubbies, all of them shoved it in their cubbies. The other side of the cubbies, they were sitting nicely in front. And I went, oh, well, those of you on this side, you need to put your apple juice in front of your cubby, not in your cubby, in front of it on the floor. We don't want it to spill inside and ruin everything because if your lid's not on very good, it could leak sticky juice all over everything. And the other side did such a good job, I gave them 2 stickers. I said, the people on this side will get 2 stickers for following directions quickly the first time. I really appreciate that. The rest of you, please fix where your juice is so yours is safe too. My co-teacher will come in. She's not my co-teacher. We do co-teaching. She's the reading teacher and she does co-teaching with us. That was a little confusing, sorry. She will talk about personal narratives, which we are working on right now. Yep, that would be me being called back to get the kids from lunch. Oh my goodness, it's just I feel like I'm running around like a crazy person today. And I didn't even work on my newsletter, which I think I just need to add in the math lessons because I did work on it. And worst comes to worst, I send the newsletter home on Monday. It's not the end of the world, but I'd like to get it home today. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can get some of this done when they're doing their personal narrative thing. I don't know. Just my head is killing me, so it's kind of hard to work very quickly. But I cannot believe next week is October. Didn't it seem like September just went? Seemed like it to me. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm on lesson 2.9 out of 12. So yay! We will finish up chapter 2 of Go Math next week, place value. But I have some things up my sleeve for that too. Okay, I think I'm good. I'll look it over again just in case, because when you do it in a hurry, you probably made a mistake. So I will proofread it when I get back before I print it. But get that in the... Oops, I have somebody's brag tag here. Whoops! She accidentally took it to lunch. Anyway, I'm going to quit babbling, go get my kids, and finish off my day, and I'll try to check back in with you at the end of the day, but if not, I will see you next week. Good evening. It's like 8:10, and I'm finally home. I fed all the cats, but guess what? We have one of the outside cats running around inside the house. One of the kittens came in and is scared to death, and I can't get it out. So much for my peaceful, quiet evening home alone with the cats. Now I gotta try to figure out how to get the little kitten outside again. It's scared to death. Of course, it had to be the one kitten that's very skittish, not the other ones that are very friendly and love to be petted. No, this is the one that is always hidden from everyone. Fabulous. Why in the world it was possessed to come inside, I will never know. But it ran in when I went out. And I'm like, oh, great. So I've been trying to catch it for about half an hour, and I've given up. So I'm just going to go downstairs where I think it is, and maybe it will get tired, and I can put it outside. I just want to relax. I don't want to chase the kitten around the house. We have a very large house, It's very open. And the downstairs and the upstairs, no door. So I can run up and down the stairs to its heart's content and run around in circles. Yes, it's fabulous fun for a kitten. Not so much fabulous fun for a person. So wish me luck that I can get this little turkey outside again where all its other little friends are. Mango has kind of been tracking it around the house, and the other cats are very curious, and then Onyx is just very grouchy. So I heard her growling and I went, oh, did you find the kitten? Oh, you probably did. So I haven't had any supper, and I realized that I never ate lunch today. I ate that breakfast burrito this morning, and I never ate any lunch. So I would like to sit down and relax. I want to watch This Is Us. I want to just do nothing, but I have to find a cat. Yeah, and I realized I left my plan book at school. Crud. Oh well, I can just write it on a piece of paper or something and transfer it when I get there, but pff, what a ding-dong. But I stayed until like 7 o'clock. I'm not even kidding. Part of it I was doing things, and part of it I was talking to the reading teacher. So I think I just heard some hissing, so I think the cat has been found. Let me see if I can go get it and put it outside. Hello there. It is 8:30, and I am happy to report that we found the kitty. The other cats and I, that is. They kind of, in a way, treed him. He was hiding on a bookshelf, little stinker. So Onyx kept going around that area and growling. And I'm like, he's got to be around in here somewhere. So I moved some games, and there he was, just looking at me all scared. And so he got away a few times. He kept going through the end because it's a dollhouse bookshelf and has little cutouts on the ends. Dang it. So he went back and forth across there a few times, and finally I just grabbed him. I grabbed him by his middle, and I just pulled him out of there. Poor thing was like, ah! Hissing and hissing and hissing. I was afraid he could scratch me to pieces, but I just grabbed him. I grabbed him, and I didn't let go, and I put him outside really quick because I had the door unlocked, ready to go. It wasn't too far from the back door, thankfully. So finally that saga's over. Good grief, what a nightmare. Like I really needed that after like a 12-hour day. So now my pizza and I are going to spend some quality time together while I watch This Is Us. So I will bid you adieu. I will bid you good night, and I will see you next time.